Elon Musk hired a lawyer who's got an axe to grind against the district attorney to try to fight back to keep that illegal lottery case out of state court and drag it over to federal court. Will he prevail? I don't think so. And I'll break it down based on a new filing we just got from Elon Musk to try to force the case to stay in federal court. I'm Michael Popok. This is Legal AF and the MeidasTouch Network. Got a lot going on here, a lot of moving parts. We got state judges. We got a new lawyer appearing for Elon Musk who has his own axe to grind against the very district attorney who brought the case for illegal lottery against Elon Musk. It's the same lawyer that just 2 years ago successfully worked with the Republicans and others in the Pennsylvania House to impeach the DA. The same Larry Krasner got impeached. And although eventually he won, he got his impeachment articles tossed by the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, but it's the same lawyer. Of course, Elon Musk would hire Matt Haverstick. Matt Haverstick has got a vendetta or an axe to grind against Krasner, and Larry Krasner's the DA that brought the case. Now, they're having a big fight over who brought the case. Who brought the case? Is it Larry Krasner as DA, or is it the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the state? Because if it's the state of Pennsylvania, which is what it says right here on the caption, if it's the state of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania through Larry Krasner, the DA, then there can be no diversity jurisdiction and no ability to drag the case really over to federal court, because you only have two ways to get into federal court. A little tutorial here. If a case has been filed against you in state court, one, you have what's called diversity of jurisdiction. The two parties have some sort of residency. They have to be flesh and blood or a corporation of some sort. And so you have that. And then you say, oh, they're in different states or different countries. Okay. And then on top of that, the amount in controversy, $75,000. And I think under both of those analyses, Elon Musk's new lawyer, I don't care that he unsuccessfully impeached at one point Larry Krasner. I think he's got the losing argument in his new filing, because states are not generally considered as part of the diversity analysis, because a state versus a person is not how you reach the conclusion as to whether there is diverse residency, because, Pennsylvania doesn't have a residency. It is its own state. The way around that, which is what Musk's lawyers are trying to do, is to say, it's really not the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania which would destroy diversity jurisdiction and we wouldn't be able to be in federal court. What we're arguing is that Larry Krasner is really the plaintiff, and Krasner lives in Pennsylvania and Elon Musk lives in Texas, and we've got diversity jurisdiction. No. There's no way this judge, and I like this judge, Judge Gerald Papert, who used to be the former Attorney General of Pennsylvania before, even though a Republican was appointed by Obama, it shows you he's not MAGA. This guy is not going to find that Pennsylvania is not the actual plaintiff in the case, despite the fact that it's on it, and it's really the DA of Philadelphia, Larry Krasner, and he's suing in some sort of personal capacity. Loser! Second losing argument that I picked up in this new filing by Elon Musk's new lawyers is that they're arguing, well, it's really a federal question, and a federal law really predominates, even though it's all about state lottery law. The whole case that's been filed smartly by DA Larry Krasner in the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas that sits in City Hall is about the lottery law in Pennsylvania. That he's running an illegal lottery, offering to buy votes and voter registration, yes, but it doesn't touch on the federal election law issues or even Donald Trump by name in that way. And they're saying, oh, it does. It's really all about federal election law and the First Amendment and core political speech. No, it's not. It's about the violation of a state lottery law, because we don't like illegal lotteries being run out of a van being driven around by Elon Musk. And so this is the fight. And we're going to get a fast ruling based on what I just read in this answer to the emergency motion for remand by Musk's lawyers. I think it's going to be pretty quick work by Judge Papert. He can do it on the papers. He doesn't have to hold an evidentiary hearing. He's got the papers that he needs. And I think it's more likely than not that he finds that there's no diversity jurisdiction, because the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania is the party that's bringing the case, not Krasner in his individual capacity under any circumstance, and that even though it sort of touches on federal election law, it's not a federal substantive federal question type case to allow you to go to federal court. If you don't have federal question as predominant and you don't have diversity jurisdiction, you're stuck in state court. And I think this is how that's going to roll out. Let's face it, after a night with drinks, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. I have to make a choice. I can either have a great night or a great next day. That is until I found Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink. Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make Z-Biotics your first drink of the night, drink responsibly, and you'll feel your best tomorrow. Now look, I won't lie. I was a bit on the fence about pre-alcohol initially. But then, while hanging out with my fantasy football draft crew over at our favorite Jersey Shore sports bar, I gave it a shot. And believe me, it's the real deal. I spent the entire next day doing all my favorite things with my family, including a long hike on our favorite trail. I kept hearing about pre-alcohol, and I wondered what it was actually like. But now that I've tried it, I believe the hype. And with their GMO technology, they will release different products that help address toxic byproducts of modern living in the gut. Go to zbiotics.com/legalaf to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use LegalAF at checkout. Z-Biotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember to head to zbiotics.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF at checkout for 15% off. But this is moving fast. I mean, the suit was filed on October the 28th. Within a day, they hired this guy, Haverstick, who had already unsuccessfully impeached the DA. You could just see Elon Musk in some sort of smoke-filled room saying, how do we stick a shiv into the DA? Who's gone after him before? Oh, Matt Haverstick over at this law firm. Oh, hire him. And then they hired some guy out of Texas that's responsible for political action committees, and he's a very political lawyer. And so they brought him in too. And so these guys are going to be before Judge Papert, but not for long, because Judge Papert has the power as a federal judge without really appeal. There's no real appellate process here. Boom. Looked at the papers, don't see it, going back to the judge. And I think Judge Angelo Fogliotti will appreciate this case. He already, let me just remind people that, or tell you straight here, Elon Musk may be subject to contempt for failing to appear in court, though ordered to do so by the state court judge, Court of Common Pleas. He was supposed to show up at 10 o'clock in the morning yesterday. He didn't show up. His lawyer showed up. I love DA Krasner's lawyers that were in the courtroom, a little bit of a humor. They said, wait a minute, this guy can put a rocket on the Mars, but he can't show up on time for a hearing? He can find a way to get here. Let him fly in on a drone. And Fogliotti said, you know what? He filed a notice of removal. Let's let that sort out with the federal court system. You may be back in front of me quickly. We'll deal with his failure to appear, even though I said everybody in all parties, and Elon Musk is a party 10 a.m. He sent his lawyers instead. So we'll see. He kind of kept his powder dry for now, but I think we're going to see a hearing about why didn't you appear the last time I called you. And if this goes according to plan, within the next day or two, before the election, I think it's going to end up back in City Hall in Philadelphia for an emergency hearing about whether Elon Musk can continue to try to buy votes at $47 a pop or $1 million a pop, or whether it's an illegal lottery that gets shut down on an emergency basis. Just to be clear, I've worked in this area a little bit myself. Phony lotteries, illegal lotteries, illegal games of chance, illegal gaming machines, sports betting get shut down quickly on an emergency application all the time in states. All the time. You're running a sports book in your garage, you're illegal taking bets, you're an illegal bookie, you're running a lottery with your friends, a 50-50 raffle at the church that's not properly registered. You get shut down really quick. I'm going to follow it and all the pages out of Donald Trump's playbook that Elon Musk is trying. You can just see Donald Trump telling him, try to go to federal court. File something. Get a lawyer that the DA hates. Do that. What else can you do? Okay. Write some arguments that really don't make any sense and file them, at 10 a.m. in the morning. But we caught it here on the MeidasTouch Network and on Legal AF, and I'm so glad that you're here. We have so much to talk about at the intersection of law and politics. We have for the last 4.5 years that we decided before the election to build a new channel, pro-democracy, with the MeidasTouch Network. And your help, we decided to open a new channel. It's called Legal AF, and you can find it easy on YouTube. Our call sign, our address is at Legal AFMTN for MeidasTouch Network. We are the Legal AF YouTube channel. We're doing stuff there that's exclusive to there. I brought in some new commentators and new contributors you haven't heard of before, and some from the Meidas universe. And of course, I'm there doing 4 or 5 videos a day at the intersection of law and politics. So until my next hot take, and don't forget the Legal AF, the podcast. That's every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on this YouTube channel for MeidasTouch. And then you can pick it up wherever you get your audio podcast from. I mean, add it together. Find out what 65 million people a month already know that Legal AF is the home of law and politics, commentary and analysis like no other. So until my next contribution here on the MeidasTouch Network or there on Legal AF YouTube channel, I'm Michael Popok, and I am reporting. In collaboration with the MeidasTouch Network, we just launched the Legal AF YouTube channel. Help us build this pro-democracy channel where I'll be curating the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. Go to YouTube now and free subscribe at Legal AF MTN. That's at Legal AF MTN.